The soldier smoked what would be the last cigarette of his life and shook his head in resignation. Behind him, hundreds of enemy troops were charging in his direction. The soldier took the last drag, quickly stood up, and raised his sniper rifle. He kept loading bullets into the chamber until they were all gone. Helplessly, the soldier sat back against the rock, watching the oncoming enemies. He leaned his head back against the stone, bitter that he hadn't lived to see the day of victory. He didn't even know if his unit had successfully broken through the enemy lines. At that moment, he saw the dagger beside him and, without hesitation, charged into the enemy ranks with it. He fought hand-to-hand with the determination to die, but the odds were overwhelmingly against him. The soldier ultimately died under the blades of the enemy. Meanwhile, another soldier who was also covering the retreat was still engaging the enemy in town, trying his best to hold back the pursuers as he ran and fired, bent over to avoid being hit. At an intersection, he unexpectedly encountered an enemy soldier who had come from behind. His gun was out of bullets, so he took off his helmet and feigned a move. Then, he quickly pulled out the pistol from his waist and shot the enemy dead. He hid behind a wall, his ammunition exhausted, with only a few grenades and a pistol left. He started running again but was shot in the leg as soon as he turned the corner. He desperately hopped forward with his wounded calf, but the enemy fired again, hitting his other leg. Even so, he kept crawling forward with all his might. He knew that his mission was to hold the enemy back and buy time for the main force to break through. He kept carrying out this mission until the surrounding enemy soldiers closed in on him and stabbed him. Only then did the soldier stop moving. But when the enemy turned him over, they saw the pin pulled on the grenade and the soldier's smile. After a loud explosion, the soldier completed his mission. At that moment, the breakout unit had finally succeeded in breaking through the enemy's last line of defense and joined forces with their allies. However, they didn't know that of the assault team members who had stayed behind, only one had survived. That man was sitting dazed on the plain, facing the highest-ranking enemy commander of the battle. He was exhausted, and even raising his gun had become a strenuous task. His trembling hand couldn't lift the weapon, while the approaching enemy was getting closer and closer. Just then, a familiar figure appeared from behind. The man took advantage of the enemy's moment of confusion and threw a flying knife into the enemy commander's face. He successfully rescued the soldier and drove back to the main force with the severely wounded man. In this operation, the assault team, except for one soldier, had all died in battle to cover the breakout of the main force. They built graves for their fallen comrades. Looking at the sacrificed soldiers, everyone felt immense sorrow. They put on their caps, saluted the fallen soldiers, and vowed in their hearts to avenge their fallen comrades.